Am I the a-hole for kicking my son out after he made fun of our daughter's death? My 16-year-old daughter passed away 7 months ago in a car accident. The other driver was speeding and weaving in and out of traffic like a maniac on the highway, which ultimately ended up hitting my baby girl. The driver lost his life on impact, while she suffered a little longer and passed away 6 hours later in the hospital due to her injuries. My wife and I attend individual therapy, as well as marriage counseling in order to cope with the loss of our daughter. Although it's been extremely hard for both of us, we've made considerable progress given the circumstances. We have begged our son to get therapy and join us for family therapy, but he's refused. He's 19 and in college, so we can't necessarily force him to go. Our therapist gave us a list of warning signs to watch out for, but he seemed to be coping well with the loss, so we decided it would be best to let him grieve in his own way. My wife discovered a video through a repost that had gone viral on TikTok, and it was created by our son. The video was captioned with "before and after getting my driver's license," showing a picture of his sister's school portrait, sliding to a picture of her gravestone and totaled car that was taken after the accident. The video had over 3,000 comments, and every comment I saw was extremely messed up. We found our son's account, which had more than one video like this. There was another video captioned "us then versus now," which had a baby photo of them and then cut to a selfie of him next to her hospital bed moments before she passed away. There were a total of 5 different posts on his account similar to this, with each getting progressively worse. My wife didn't handle these videos well and ended up having a severe mental breakdown. I had to take her to the ER so she could be sedated and given fluids due to her vomiting and hyperventilating. I confronted my son, who defended himself, saying he uses these videos to cope with her death, explaining that dark humor is the way he grieves, but I could barely look at him. I told him to pack his things and stay with his grandparents for the time being. He became angry and said we both needed to move the F on instead of taking our grief out on him. It's been 2 weeks and my wife doesn't want to be anywhere near our son anytime soon. Stumbling across these videos felt like taking 10 giant steps backwards from how far we'd come in our grieving process. Our son's absence was supposed to be temporary, but my wife and I think it's time for him to move into an off-campus student apartment in order to give us all some space and establish boundaries. We haven't told him yet, but we plan to when he returns home next week. While he was away, he apologized in a text to both my wife and I. However, he still insists it wasn't wrong for him to post those videos publicly for millions of people to see. He believes we're being too dramatic and taking things too personally when that's not how he intended them to be. It took me threatening to disown him before he finally took down the videos. A few of my friends think we've gone too far by essentially abandoning him and kicking him out of our home. They told us to keep in mind that he's still a stupid kid digging in his heels because he wants attention. We'll be paying his rent, but he'll have to cover the other costs himself, such as food and gas, since that's the most we can afford right now. He'll have to get a part-time job while going to class. We still love our son, but neither of us can handle what he's done right now for the sake of our marriage and mental health. Honestly, I think I need to put my wife first here, and if that means he needs to leave, then I'll do that for her. He's also turning 20 soon, so it's not exactly like he's a child. Am I the a-hole?